What's up guys, Bridget here. More than 3k regen, over 15k energy shield, permanent flask uptime even in boss fights without a range blood, very high damage mitigation, just name a few. I can safely say this is the tankiest character I ever played. Let's see what things we got on the damage side. Our skill choice is Blade Trap. You throw a trap and when it gets triggered, it will using your weapon and start spinning around like Cyclone, just drop version. This is why it's important what weapon we using and we need reach 100% accuracy rating. Using a really cheap weapon, namely Emerald Edge unique weapon. This weapon has a few important stats that only exclusive to this weapon. First and the most important part, attack with this weapon have added maximum lightning damage equal to 20% of maximum energy shield, while also give us tons of energy shield. We can use 4 curses in our build because using a unique ring, Anathema, our curse limit is equal to our maximum power charges. Every character can have 3 charges, but we also taking a plus power charge from the 3, so we can add 4 curses to the build. It's up to you to go full offensive and use all the damage curses, or use 3 damage and 1 defensive curse. I take the defensive route because I think we have enough damage with 3 curses. So the offensive curses I'm using is the following: Elemental Weakness, Conductivity, Assassin Mark. Our defensive curse is Enfeeble, which is reducing the damage the enemy deal to us. With 3.21 they remove the Lighting Mastery. Damage with non-critical lighting damage is lucky, so we almost lost 50% damage and revert the Saboteur. That's another loss. With all of this our build almost got destroyed. But I found out if we go crit version and take Trickster and add charged trap support to our build, we can easily generate power and frenzy charges. We have 4 maximum power charge, so it would be not too smart to go with the non-crit version. And there it is, we already solved all of the issues on the damage side. On the defensive side, Trickster doesn't have built-in regen, sadly. So we need to borrow the Pyromaniac Ascendancy passive from Saboteur with Forbidden Flame and Flash. I bought this 2 Javel for 80 CL total, but there is a big but. The supply very limited right now. I think on the market there is 20 overall, so if you want to buy this, you will have a hard time. I have a good news for you. I'm working on a much cheaper version. I don't want to promise anything, I need to test it in game, but the POB looks great, but this doesn't mean it also works in game. I have a really big surprise for you. Any aspects of the crab fans out there? If you not used this aura before, this will give us crab barriers every half second, and it will grant physical damage reduction per crab stack. So alone this aura gives us 20% physical damage reduction, but when we take it, we will lose all of the stack. This is when come in handy or high evasion rating. Using Grace Aura for evasion rating, so we almost can't die from the monster's basic attacks or projectiles. Spell suppression, this is coming from the tree, and the unique boots auxiliary steps. This will give us a huge chunk of spell suppression and evasion. The really interesting part is our energy shield. Where is the 50k energy shield is coming from? Let's start with the biggest source, or chest piece, Ghost Ritual. This chest alone gives us more than 6k energy shield because it will convert our maximum life to energy shield. From now we can scale our life and energy shield in the same time. This is why I have life and energy shield on every single piece of gear. We also stacking intelligence to get more energy shield. I reach more than 800 intelligence. We achieving this with int on every possible gear slot. Another big chunk of energy shield is coming from our amulet, Presence of Chayula. It will also convert our maximum life to energy shield. You may be already noticed, we reserving a little less than 50% our life. I'm using Arctic Armor with Arrogance, so I can become immune to freeze. Worth to mention here, with Crucible League we got a WoW version to this skill, so we can easily tank any big hits like Maven Memory Game or even the Big Brain Explosion if you want to. Maybe you wonder, okay, we have that much energy shield, but what happens when we encountering with chaos damage? We just die? This is when another unique item came in, Ash Visage unique shield. Chaos damage taken does not bypass or energy shield while not on low life. This is why I mentioned or spell that reserving life. In short, don't reserve more than 50% of your life and you will be safe from the chaos damage. I mentioned earlier we have permanent flask uptime. We are achieving this with a few simple things. Maybe you wonder why I'm only using 3 flask. Because I'm using the Treater Keystone from a Timeless Javel. Gain 4 charges per empty flask slot every 5 seconds. Alone this is not enough to sustain our flask. We need quality up or flask with Hillock from the Betray mechanic, and you need at least 26% quality. You need him in research, and he needs to be rank free to get this option. I would like if you hit the like button like the shaper hitting the adder, so it can start spread to more people. Thank you. Few important things you need in the build, using a bunch of unique items. Let's start with our weapon. Amphiral Edge unique weapon. This weapon has a few important stats that only exclusive to this weapon. First and the most important part, attack with this weapon have added maximum lightning damage equal to 20% of maximum energy shield, while also give us tons of energy shield. Crucible 3 on my weapon, percentage strength and int, and trap throwing speed. I already see much better option in our Discord, like double damage or even base crit to the weapon. So I think I got a very low roll on the Crucible 3, which is fine. If you get better, you will just happy about it. Using Harvest Enchant, quality does not increase the physical damage, instead increase critical chance per 4 quality. Ash Visage unique shield. Chaos damage does not bypass our energy shield while not on low life. Thanks to this shield we can have only 600 life and not die to chaos damage. Crucible 3 on this. Not even amazing. I got a little energy shield increase. This is local, so only the energy shield on the shield gets boosted. And a little bit life and regen, same as the weapon. I see much better nose in the Discord. Ghostfright unique body armor. This is the reason why we can scale our energy shield from our life, because this item is converting our maximum life to energy shield, while also give us tons of chaos resistance. Auxiliary step unique boots. These give us spell suppression and life, also bunch of evasion rating. It's important to use this because we can't cap our spell suppression without this. Worth to mention, I got the enchantment from Uberlab. Penetrates 10% elemental resistance if you haven't killed recently. This is useful in boss fights because most of the time only fighting against one boss. Presence of Chayula unique amulet. With this we cannot be stunned and converting our maximum life to energy shield, and we anointing arcane focus for more energy shield. Anathema unique ring. With this ring we can use 4 curse in the build, also give us int and a little bit of energy shield. The following implicits you can craft with the Eldritch currency. Spam till you get the following on your gloves: inflict lightning exposure on hit and increase critical chance for attacks. On your helmet, while there is a unique enemy nearby, increase attack damage, and conductivity has increased curse effect. Worth to mention, we using a helm enchantment, Blade Trap rotates +1 times. Also we have Aspect of Crab skill on this item. You can apply this mod from the Blood Altar in the Menagerie. Flasks we using is a Sapphire, Topaz and a Ruby flask. You need the following mods on the flask. The order doesn't matter. Only one mod needs to be present on all of the flasks. Increase charge recovery. You need to check the POE for your flask uptime. It needs to be 100%. When you crafting your flask, pay attention because there is a hybrid mod that also gives charge recovery, but you will get less flask effect. The sub mods is the following. Regenerate 3% life during effect. You can get this mod from the Betray mechanic when unveiling flask. We use mana cost of skill during effect. I'm using additional elemental resistance during effect because it was hard to get the resistance cap. But if you can be resist capped without this, you can go with evasion rating during effect or critical strike increase during effect. Pantheons we using Major, Soul of Solaris. For bossing, if you just doing maps, Soul of Lunar, Minor, Soul of Tukohoma, and you need to upgrade to get the regen from this Pantheon. Bandits, 2 passive points. I just want to highlight a few things on the passive tree that you need for the build. Using 8 passive cluster jewel with Smite the Weak, Advanced Guard and Veteran Defender. 4-point medium cluster jewel with Set and Forget, Guerrilla Tactics. Forbidden Flame and Flash unique jewel with Pyromania. Brutally Restrained Timeless jewel with this line denoted service of Dekhara in the Akhara of Balbala. This will give us you the Traitor Keystone. If you can try to aim increased critical chance or increased elemental damage on the nodes. A Watcher Eye with increased attack damage while affected by Precision and regenerate energy shield if affected by Discipline. If you can't find this combination, you need to choose what you want, more damage or more regen. It's up to you. We taking Trickster as our Ascendancy. In your first lap, one step ahead. This will increase your action speed, so you will move faster and throw trap faster. Second lap, take Swift Killer. There is nothing really to tell about this, just extra frenzy charge. Third lap, Polymath. Sadly, from this node, we only gain the more damage parts. The others does not applying to us, because the traps killing the enemies, not we. Last lap, Her Stopper. This is our defensive part. Gem and Gemling, starting with our main link. In our body armor, Blade Trap, Inspiration, Charged Traps, Elemental Focus, Increased Area Effect, and Cluster Trap. When you fighting on these bosses, you need to swap out the Cluster Trap to Swift Assembly, the Increased Area Effect to Concentrated Effect. Our curse setup in our gloves, Arcanist Brand, Enfeeble, Elemental Weakness, Anomalous Conductivity. We applying this free curse with Arcanist Brand, so we don't have to press more buttons in boss fights. In our boots, Clarity, Assassin's Mark, Flame Dash, and Bear Trap. Bear Trap will increase the damage the enemy take from our traps. In our shield, Arrogance Support, Arctic Armor, and Enlighten level 2. In our helmet, our aura setup, Discipline, Summon Skitterbots, Grace, Enlighten level 3. In our weapon, Increased Duration, and Immortal Core, and Precision. I hope you enjoyed this video about Blade Trap Trickster. If you have a question, please let me know in the comment section below. I would like to say thank you to my Patreons for supporting my journey. Thanks for watching, guys. I was Bridget. See you next time.